Today I'm at Hendersonville Memory Gardens in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and I'm going to be showing you the gravesite of Wyatt Merle Kilgore, better known in the music industry as just Merle Kilgore. Merle was born in Oklahoma to the parents of Wyatt and Gladys Kilgore, but he was basically raised in Louisiana and even moved there when he was very young. And I will tell you a little bit about the Louisiana thing in just a minute, but while we're looking at, there's to the left of this sidewalk, I will mention the two large flowers just ahead is the gravesite of Johnny and June Carter Cash, and Merle had a connection there too with both Johnny and June. But he has a bench that's one bench down from Johnny and June's that has Kilgore on it, but his grave is actually two rows farther down than where the bench is. So let's head on down to get a closer look at that marker of his. While we're headed toward the marker of Merle, I would like to mention he also had a connection both with Hank Williams Sr. and Hank Williams Jr. And it was a long-standing relationship there, as Merle was living in Shreveport, Louisiana, and when the Louisiana hayride stuff was going on, and Hank Williams Sr. was performing there, Merle Kilgore acted as, you might say, a gopher for him, or go for this or go for that, and he would even carry Hank Sr.'s guitar to him and all during the Louisiana hayride days. But now let's just take a closer look at the actual marker. He's got I think, a rather elaborate type marker, and it's got a nice bronze picture there of him, but it's kind of unusual to see hands on it. But Merle Kilgore was always known for wearing a big necklace and lots of rings on his finger. And we'll take a closer look at that in a minute. There's also a picture of him, looks like, with two little Yorkie dogs I thought was real cute on the thing. But up ahead you can see the Merle Kilgore bench there. But we'll look at these, and if you'll notice, we'll get a little closer to it, and you see the rings part there is one that says Hank on it, and that stands, of course, for Hank Williams, and it could be for either junior or senior, but I'm thinking it's more for junior because he had a longer relationship with Hank Jr. And there's a ring that has got the MK for Merle Kilgore, and I'm not sure about what the others are on there. And then I like the writing. Are you kidding me? I made the biggest deal of all. He's got. He was known kind of as a dealer with different songwriting and different things, but it also tells that he was a singer, songwriter, entertainer, and that he was loved by all on his marker. While you're noticing the word songwriter on his marker, I will mention that he not only wrote country music songs, but he also wrote pop songs. I guess since we were talking about him starting out so young at 14 around Hank Williams Sr., I should mention that at 18 he was a disc jockey, so he was around music pretty much from his early years. And he said at 22 that he wrote his first $1 million selling song, and I believe that might have been Webb Pierce singing the song he wrote, More and More, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Merle Kilgore was also known for singing songs that he wrote himself, and probably the most one that got most publicity and all was or I should say reviews and all, and popularity, was the song called Dear Mama. As we're taking a little bit closer look at the ring, and you see that one that says Hank on it, I'll mention that Merle Kilgore worked for 30 years with the Hank Williams Jr. Enterprises, and the last 19 years of Merle's life, he was actually Hank Williams Jr.'s manager. Now we'll head on up toward the bench, and as we said, he wrote also pop songs besides country music, and I think he wrote one or two songs for like Tommy Rowe and the Pop Field and all. But anyway, we'll go up to the bench. It has Merle's name across the top, of course, but it also has some of the songs that are listed that he either sang or whatever. And we'll take a closer look. And the first one at the top is More and More, and that was probably because I think that's the one, like I said, it was his first big hit that he wrote, and Will Pierce sang that, and then Johnny Horton sang that. It was a big hit for him. Wolverton Mountain was like a crossover song that Claude King made very popular, and it's hard to see, but right at the very bottom it says Ring of Fire co-writer, and it doesn't say with June Carter Cash on that. And it almost looks like it was maybe added at a later time, I'm not sure or not, because it doesn't seem to be carved in as deep as the others. But it was with June Carter Cash that he co-wrote the song, and of course Johnny Cash has made it very, very popular. And speaking of June Carter and Johnny, I will mention that Merle Kilgore was the best man at their wedding, and Merle is actually buried by Ezra Carter, which was June Carter's dad. Now we'll look around on the back side to see what's there. And it also has Merle Kilgore, where you can see it really good from walking up the sidewalk. But I think that what the writing is something that his wife must have wrote. He says, "I will meet you in the morning over there. All my love, Judy." And Judy was his wife at the time of his passing. I'm going to head on down a little bit farther in the cemetery. It's actually 3 rows below Merle's grave, and that is going to be the gravesite of his daughter. And you can see Merle's grave there laying on the ground. And this blue vase flowers here is where Merle's daughter, Kimberly Kilgore Wilson, is buried. And when I was reading her obituary, it had as on hers that she was a loving mother, daughter, wife, and friend. And she was also an animal lover, a seamstress, a furniture sales expert, and she had a lifelong love of music and songwriting. And it's got, looks like 3 pictures of her, and I think that may even been her as a little girl on the left. I don't think that's her child, but it may be. But I believe it's actually all pictures of her, and then one on the end with her husband. And she is buried beside her husband. Kimberly would die of cancer herself, but it was a year after her husband had died. And here is her husband's marker. It's Jesse David Wilson. Jesse was also a singer, songwriter himself, and a real estate investor. And I'll mention a couple more things about Merle as we get ready to close this video today. And that is that Merle has played in some TV and in some movies, actually. He played in The Coal Miner's Daughter. He played in that movie, and he also portrayed himself in the TV's Living Proof of the Life Story of Hank Williams Jr. And he's been inducted into the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame and the Louisiana Hall of Fame and the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. And he has a star on the Music City Walk of Fame. Hope you've enjoyed my video today, and I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.